Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any other videos that I have posted in the past. If you have any videos that you would like me to make, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. This is another video that I respond to a viewer's question. She wrote to me recently and asked me what is the Maillard reaction. Now, the Maillard reaction is probably one of the most important chemical reaction in cooking. And I have talked about the Maillard reaction in the past, but I thought I'm going to go over it again, but with greater focus on the significance of the Maillard reaction in stir-frying. Now, stir-frying is a technique where oil plays a critical role. And the question people might ask is that, why do you need to use oil? Now, in this case, this in a professional restaurant, in addition to just cooking it, this cook also introduced flame into the wok. So the question becomes is that, what is the distinction between frying it with just oil and then also you use fire to actually to burn the food? Now, the Maillard reaction turned out to be something that for a long time I did not understand it myself. Now, as a microbiologist, I have taken many courses in biochemistry when I was in graduate school, but it never seems to occur to me that this chemical reaction might have anything to do with cooking. I do remember this chemical reaction in my biochemistry class, talking about how proteins and carbohydrate interact with each other at certain temperature. I grew up in Hong Kong, but I did not move to Hong Kong until I was about 6 years old. My parents moved there right after the Communist Revolution in China, and I was left behind and I lived with my aunt. And then when I was 6 years old, and my parents decided that they would like me to move to Hong Kong. So my aunt took me, we went from Shanghai to Macau, and then we smuggled from Macau into Hong Kong. When I arrived in Hong Kong, the food culture in Hong Kong is very popular with a type of restaurant that we now frequently know as street food. And you will find that in many different parts of Hong Kong that they have this open, almost like a night market with all kinds of food. Now, this type of a market have particularly well known for a certain type of stir-frying. They use very high heat because they're basically outdoors, so they don't have to worry about ventilation. And this type of street cooking is well known for the particular type of flavor that associate with this cooking, and they call it wok chi. And the term wok chi basically means the spirit of the wok or the breath of the wok, depending on how you translate the two words. The first word wok obviously means wok, and the second word chi can be translated both in terms of breath or as well as spirit. Now, the consequence of this is that because during that period of time in the southern part of China, in a province known as Guangdong province, which is well known for Cantonese food, and Cantonese food is probably among the best cuisines in China, and partly because of the way how they cook the food. They cook it for a very short period of time under high heat. And the end result is that it was able to maintain the freshness of the food. During my college year, I worked as a cook in a Chinese restaurant, and I remember in this Chinese restaurant, the main cook, he is from Hong Kong, and so he cooked Cantonese food. I remember we used a very high heat. This is very traditional in all Chinese restaurants. Wok burner usually can give up about maybe as much as 250,000 BTU, which will be about 15 times more BTU than most home kitchen burner. Well, the reason is simple because with stir-frying, as long as you can stir the food quickly, you can use very high heat. Now, at the time, I start to understand maybe something about this Maillard reaction has something to do with using high heat, as well as in the case of stir-frying. Now, one thing become very clear to me is that this Maillard reaction, which was discovered by a French scientist known as Louis Maillard in the 19th century, From his research, he discovered that a chemical reaction occurs between protein and carbohydrates that take place between 250 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, in this temperature, the proteins and the carbohydrates react with each other, and they create a lot of new chemicals. Now, these new chemicals turn out to be quite flavorful. Now, this actually happened on the surface of the food because food contains carbohydrate and protein on the cell surface. So under this temperature, this reaction takes place. And the best way to visualize this reaction is the browning. For example, when you bake bread in the oven, which is the temperature usually happen about this temperature range, you notice that the bread will turn brown. And this browning will also occur with meat and many other food ingredients as well. Now, it turned out that when you steam something, the color never changes. And the reason is because steaming do not lead to this Maillard reaction. So consequently, you do not have this browning process. But it's quite different if you bake bread. You always see this brown color. Now, this browning turned out to be due to this Maillard reaction. When these chemicals react with each other, they create so-called flavor molecule. Now, another important is the caramelization. Caramelization takes place when the temperature goes between 300 degrees to about 400 degrees. Now, this temperature occurs is that when molecules, particularly sugar molecules on the surface of the food ingredient, start to caramelize. And this is very well known for creme brulee. You can notice that the brown color is come from this caramelization. So as you can see, that heat plays an important role in the stir-frying process, actually in any type of cooking process. But the stir-frying particularly important because when you heat up the food to certain temperature, you will get different type of result in the type of flavor generation. Now, it's more interesting is that when the food start to get into even higher temperature, in this case, when the food above 400 degrees, the food will start to burn. Now, this is quite common, and you will find in any type of frying. For example, when you fry hamburger, all of this reaction actually take place. So, like in this case, you turn the hamburger around. You notice that the hamburger has now been actually charred, and this charring is when this temperature has gone beyond 400 degrees. So, as you can see that there is a continuum of how flavor molecules are being generated through different temperature range. In stir frying, you have the capacity to introduce all of these stages of the temperature change. Now, in the case of stir frying in a professional kitchen, in a restaurant, they actually do it so quickly because they can heat up the food ingredients due to the high power burner. And they can also burn the food by introducing flame into the food, in this case by introducing alcohol, which will result in the food from burning. So all of this demonstrates is that the foundation of stir frying, even if you don't do anything else, is that the Maillard reaction play a critical role, because as long as you stir fry with oil, the temperature will go to the Maillard reaction zone. Okay, I hope this has been helpful to you in my explanation of the Maillard reaction. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine using my fast cooking system. If you'd like to learn how to use the fast cooking system to make your home cooking practical, efficient, creative, and fun, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.